listen to the Strokes?
What would I have heard from them?
Ooh, probably a bunch of stuff that you would be like, oh, that's this.
This is the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Pick an album.
Okay, all right. I do have an hour drive ahead of me, so perfect. Good morning, Tuscaloosa. How we doing today, Internet world? West Alabama, it's a great Tuesday, and you guys are watching the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. You guys are listening to us on Apple Podcast, Amazon, Spotify. Hope you guys are having a great Tuesday wherever you're going. Hope you're getting ready to see us, to join us in Hoover, Alabama. Woo! It's going to be a huge, long, fun week in Hoover, Alabama, and we will talk about that today. The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral. You find us wherever you get your podcast. Comment at Joe Gaither6 at MAWoods_. Leave us a voicemail like our friend Dax did yesterday at 205-758. Nope. 205-462-7340, extension 800. The 758 number is for Derek Daniel. 205-758-3391 for all your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. We're live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios, right off of McFarland Boulevard in Northport, past the Tiger Rock on the left. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. That number again, 205-758-3391. Yikes. Loving when my camera goes in and out. That's A-okay. Okay. We're going to have a fun day today. And we're back in action with our man Mason Woods at MAWoods_. Back from the weekend, back from a little Atlanta excursion. Is that who you were telling me about the Strokes? Is that who you saw over the weekend?
We saw Pierce the Veil.
Okay. I recognize that name.
Yeah, who of them didn't know that's who it was going in. I knew it was one of those in that sphere.
They're like emo rock and roll kind of.
I had a good time. Hit the little concession stand and bought me some libations. Had a good time.
Oh, great.
No, we had fun. Did that on Friday night. And
State Farm Arena or somewhere else?
It was Lakewood Amphitheater.
Oh, okay, great.
Nice, big. It was. They, evidently they're fans. You got a lot more fans than I would realize. There was a lot of people there. It was packed. We had pretty good seats. There was a slight obstruction from a column, but you should have to move over to the right a little bit, and you were fine. So that was good. And then Saturday next day, we got a little early, went and got food, and then did the little Atlanta City Pack thing, hit the Coke Museum, College Football Hall of Fame, hit the aquarium. Tried to go to the zoo, but got rained out, unfortunately. But yeah, had a good time. Good things to do over there.
There we go.
Impossible to drive around, but Atlanta was fun.
Great. I'm just making sure all my stuff's charged. All my lights are blinking over here. Everything's on. All right, we're doing good. What was the favorite Atlanta excursion? Coke Museum? Were you zooing it up? Was it CNN tour? What was the excursion that you enjoyed the most?
I mean, as a college football fan, I just ate up the college, which honestly I do have a bit of a complaint about. I don't remember it. It's been invaded with AI, the College Football Hall of Fame now. Like you say at the beginning, they take your picture at this little kiosk, and then as you walk through, you scan a little card, and it gives you these AI-generated images of yourself in various scenes. And it was like, okay, I thought it was kind of dumb. I could see that some people who were there enjoyed themselves. I think.
Was one of your AI pictures Mason Woods holding the crystal ball? The Nick Saban.
One that did it gave you a fictional coach history, backstory. Oh, Coach Mason Woods coached for the Crimson Tide for 40 years.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah, but me, I just ate up all the memorabilia and stuff. They had a pretty cool setup on the top floor for all of the recent College Football Hall of Fame inductees, where they had a locker for each of them set up, so you went down the line and looked at, this is a pair of cleats they wore in game, this was a jersey, this was a Sports Illustrated edition or whatever, and all that kind of stuff, which was cool. I did notice they had Toby Gerhardt, who is one of the inductees this year. That dude was awesome. Not as big as I recall him being. I feel like I remember him being the largest dude on the field, 6 foot 230 or something. Not a huge guy, but anyway, had a pair of cleats in his locker that he absolutely had not worn, which I thought was funny because they were the same kind of cleats that I had in high school. We did not overlap whatsoever, so that was funny.
Toby Gerhardt, the originator of Cam Scattergood.
Yeah,
Cam Scattergood's father.
Yeah.
Not the first. Just you got to go back to like Johnny Musso type,
So.
But in the
He's in the family.
he and Mike Allstott.
The pictures of Cam Scattergood from this week, I don't know if you saw them. Not anything like crazy, but just he is embracing the New York lifestyle. The New Jersey Italian seems like he's really getting to it. He's rocking the very oversized Giants jersey with a very gaudy diamond encrusted watch and a big chain. And I think he had a nice. It was just funny. He looked the part of a New Jersey resident.
Well, you embrace it. Embrace the culture.
I think even Jack.
Oh yeah, I see it now. I see it now. Do you believe in the Bible and why? Is the post from Isaac Rochelle, I guess, is one of his teammates.
Looks like a Sopranos extra or something.
Yes, he does. Hey, Tony, give me that sandwich. The pub.
I don't think Tony would have liked this character.
No, this is one of AJ's friends that he hates. This is absolutely one of AJ's punk friends who's trying to get AJ to do some plot. This is a plot. And like, AJ, you won't get caught. It's okay. And AJ's trying to act all cool, and Scattergood's like, "Come on, do it." Well, I wish you a lot of luck, Cam Scattergood.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think a lot of people that genuinely think he's going to have a good time, and I will see. I think it's going to be hard to be a good running back in the NFL when you are that challenged speed-wise.
Peyton Hillis was okay for a minute.
For 2 seasons.
Yeah, about a second. Little cup of coffee in Cleveland, and he's good. Let's put him on the cover.
You might get a fun year out of him on your fantasy team.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're back, Mason. I'm glad you had a good time in Atlanta. Hopefully yesterday went pretty smooth for you. Anything on the recruiting track before we start looking? What I want to do today is dissect what's going on with, because I don't even know what's going on. I last night I'm a little indisposed watching Monday Night Raw, just not trying to be plugged in, and of course I have Ross Dellinger's tweets on alerts. So I want to talk about what he tweeted because it kind of seems like a huge bombshell. But before, I just want to check in if there's a Alabama recruiting update. If there's not, it's okay. I know we're about to have a big week ahead, but if the weekend was a little slower because you're having lifetime, I say okay.
Yeah, don't think we had a ton. Did see one 4-star tight end, Xavier Tiller, announced Alabama in his top 3. Out of also Auburn and Florida State is the other 2 there. So we'll see there. Don't know much about him. 6'2", 225 from Fairburn, Georgia. He is going to be here with this crop of players this weekend on the 30th, or next week on the 30th. So we will hopefully maybe get a commitment from that soon.
Very good, very good. Your man, Isaiah Crowell. More cryptic tweets over the weekend. Sure. Nothing really happening though.
Yeah, I thought maybe we'd get a little bit of something there. I sent that to you, so like, not sure if anything's gonna happen. So just keep an eye on it. And it didn't get anything. I think he's enjoying his moment in the spotlight, which that's fine. Soak it up. It might be a little bit get Alabama before you're back there. You might have to wait your turn for a little bit, especially at running back.
I would have a hard time not tweeting cryptically and getting the come to Bama, Joe. Go to Oregon, Joe. We want you. I would have a hard time not. It'd be the LSU Tiger,
little elephant here,
cowboy hat, Texas.
I would be messing with people very, very.
My own future fan base would hate me because they'd be like, "You remember?" He flirted with Auburn all day.
I would be unfollowing my teammates on social media every day. Following other coaches.
Gotta get your NIL leverage. Well, you still can, I guess. Maybe. Julian Lee joins us on the comment section. You can as well on Facebook. Good morning, Julian. We hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for joining us on the comment section in Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Joe Gaither 6. All right, so let's see what we can find here. Last night, Ross Dellinger tweets this out. Huge article. Yeah, he tweeted. This says 8-minute read. Maybe I'm a slow reader. It took me a long time to get through this. Last night at 8 o'clock. And the reason this is relevant for 2 factors for you as an Alabama fan. It's relevant because it seems like it's going to what Ross Dellinger's reporting seems like it's a way to get all the states under the same law. So it seems like a way to work around rogue states. And yes, yeah, Philip Fulmer, the Tennessees of the world who have spent $8 million on Nico Iamaleava as a high schooler and been burned and not learned their lesson, continue to push the boundaries of NIL and the law. You've got the House versus NCAA settlement, which is coming. But what I read in this Ross Dellinger article, you can read this on Yahoo Sports. It's titled Power Conference is Working on Contract to Bind Schools to New Enforcement Rules with Strict Punishment. What I read here is that the state of Tennessee was seeing the powers that be do the House versus NCAA settlement, and seems like that. I've lost it in the sauce here, but basically the state of Tennessee is such a concept. Exactly. Okay, perfect. Signing an agreement with it exempts a state university from following its own state law. It's particularly troubling, says Ramayi Huma, the executive director of National College Players Association. That's especially true when the consequence is potentially eviction from your own conference. Such a concept is actually addressed in Tennessee state law. The law prevents an athletic association from adopting and enforcing rules that violate state laws and prohibits any association from interfering with a school's membership status, voting rights, and revenue distribution. So essentially, Tennessee, the way that I digest this, Mason, and please correct me if you're digesting it a different way, but the way that I'm digesting this is that this College Sports Commission is officials from the Big 12, SEC, Big 10, and ACC circulating a draft requiring schools to circulating a draft, a groundbreaking, first of its kind document intending to prevent universities from using their state laws to violate new enforcement rules, and requires schools to waive their rights to pursue legal challenges against the new enforcement entity, the College Sports Commission. So out with the NCAA, enforcement, in with College Sports Commission as our police officers.
CSC patch on jerseys next year.
We're a member organization. When Tennessee goes rogue and they get kicked out of the SEC, they lose their patch.
Yeah, they get like a skull and cross. That'll look too cool.
Right. You don't play football anymore is what you do.
It's a cotton candy logo.
You play football against Vanderbilt, Memphis, UT Martin, UTC, MTSU, all that. Congratulations, you're a state champion at Tennessee. We don't like. I'll just open it up. Well, you read it right before we started. What? How are you digesting some of this?
Like this College Sports Commission is aimed at basically taking away the opportunity for states like Tennessee to circumvent any sort of enforcement from the NCAA by just saying, "Well, this is what our state law says. We're going to follow that." With this, I think it's going to tell these member organizations, ignore what your state says. You're going to follow what we say. And that's how it's going to be. If you don't, you join or die. If you do not sign up, you're not going to be a part of our conference. We're not going to schedule any games with you. You're not going to be a part of anything. You can figure it out figure it out yourself. Sounds like it's going to, or at least at least it's a pathway to leveling the playing field.
God, please.
Because we talked about so many times on this show. The money discrepancy, school to school, how much one school has more than the other, whatever it is. It seems like a way to certainly combat that. So I like the way it sounds on the surface, and I'll have to probably read into it more, and maybe I'm totally butchering what it's saying altogether. But that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, it sounds like everything that we've been asking for, but haven't been able to get. Because look. We've been playing the NCAA as a toothless organization forever and ever. And I 100% believe it. If your school X is violating the rules, just sue. Just give the middle finger to the NCAA and say, come get me, buddy. If Will Wade's doing the wrong thing and they say, oh, we need you to come meet with us and we need you to come meet with you, and just give them the middle finger. You got to have somebody that you actually respect. The issue, every time. Oh, you declared me ineligible, NCAA. I'm going to sue you. Those JUCO years didn't count, which is why, I mean, it goes into what we talked about with LeBaron. Obviously, that conversation is off the table. But if LeBaron didn't, went past the deadline, the draft deadline, and wanted to return to Alabama, just sue. Just sue, baby. And we can get you back on the roster.
Now it'll be a circus of a court case probably, but we'll get you back.
And obviously for LeBaron, none of that was worth any of that. But I just think the NCAA is absolutely paper tiger.
Yeah, I think there's never, at least, it seems like the NCAA, they have been too scared to give any actual stakes or anything. The College Sports Commission, or the College Sports Commission, College Football Commission, whatever, it provides actual punishment of you will no longer be a member of this conference. You will not get to play members of this conference or members of another conference. And then also you have to sign an agreement that says, we will not bring litigation or whatever, we're not going to sue.
That's going to be the hard part for them to get stuck.
But it really only takes a handful of schools to join. Because once you get your
big boys in there.
3 or 4 big boys, it's like, all right, we'll just play each other then. You guys do your own thing. Nobody's going to want to do the smaller schools. So, it just takes a couple dominoes to fall.
So we've been having this House versus NCAA lawsuit been going on for 6-8 months or so, longer. And it's obviously at the point of settlement, and they're litigating the settlement. But both sides are in agreement. We want to settle. How can we find arbitration, this sort of thing? I found the point that the Tennessee's just ridiculous. Tennessee Senate Bill 536, its details unearthed last week, paves the way for state schools like University of Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Memphis, and their affiliated collectives to break House settlement-related rules and prevents college sports' new enforcement entity from penalizing those schools. Essentially, you've got the state of Tennessee doing the antitrust thing, doing that you can't control how much these kids are worth thing, which I inherently agree with. Billy's worth whatever Billy can get paid. Sure. But the issue is this House versus NCAA, the House versus NCAA settlement is taking us to where we want to go, right? With the NIL clearinghouse. Oh my God. It's everything that we want, but you've got people fighting it because, now, can't circumvent the rules. This NIL clearinghouse, towards the bottom of it, right? Towards the bottom were those numbers. Yeah, where were those numbers that you had, the 80%? 80%
of NIL deals with public companies were valued at less than $10,000. 99% of those deals were valued at $100,000 or less than $100,000. 70% of past deals from booster collectives would have been denied, and 90% of past deals from public companies would have been approved.
See, this is the sticking point right here. It's going to hurt Alabama a little bit. I mean, let's be honest. Ty Simpson's got his camo deal. Perfect NIL. Great. Ty Simpson's got whatever he's got working for his NIL. I'm reading your ad. I'm Ty Simpson, and you need to come buy a car from Billy's Car Lot.
So Houston Millett, who I'm assuming was some sort of NIL opportunity on TikTok last night, coming across my feed with some knee bands for his patellar tendon. Apparently, Osgood-Schlatter disease.
Yeah, he does. Bad knees.
Yeah.
But perfect. That's
exactly what it should have been.
Right. It's Bryce Young doing his Fortnite. I'm playing Fortnite. Come play Fortnite with me. Gets money from Fortnite. This is what we always wanted in NIL to be. It wasn't, hey man, I've got $100,000 in the Crimson Collective. It's not the name, but you get it. In the Crimson Collective, in Yale, Alabama. There we go. I'm putting Yale, Alabama, getting 100 grand and getting it funneled right into Ty Simpson's pocket. And that's not right. That's never what it's been. Now, do I have an issue with that from a pro player standpoint? No, I don't. Do I recognize how dangerous that is for the sport? 1,000%. Absolutely. It's not right. If you want to keep these booster deals where I'm just dumping $50K into your pocket, Billy 4-star, fine. but you have to have some sort of structure to keep Billy Four-Star on campus, out of the transfer portal, not being tampered with Charlie Booster from the other school. Like, you just got to protect yourself in some way. And so what's happening here is this House versus NCAA settlement is working to protect things. And some states are seeing their advantage. I mean, we're going to pay Nico Iamaleava $8 million to come to school. Why didn't he just do, isn't it Hunt Refinery? Isn't that the Cleveland Browns, Jimmy Haslam? Type in Jimmy Haslam. It's the Cleveland Browns owner, big time booster for Tennessee. I'm pretty sure Jimmy Haslam, Hunt Oil Refinery. Maybe I'm making that up.
Chairman of the board for
Pilot, which is also oil, gas. So why don't you have Nico Iamaleava just doing a bunch of pilot gas, natural gas, whatever the case may be. Sign up with our,
on a road trip, I would sure stop at one place,
right.
Fans of Tennessee would be flooding the place.
That's real NIL, and that's the issue of what's happening here is you are seeing your Miamis, your Oregons, your Texases, really not even those three. I mean, yes, those three, but to me, I'm fascinated by Michigan and Ohio State. I hate you so much, I'm going to make myself broke.
Go bankrupt.
Yes, and the other side, I'll go bankrupt even harder, and it's back and forth, and it's just
I'm not giving it enough respect in my life.
$12 million for Bryce Underwood.
Because yes, it does seem as if just about everyone on either side, and maybe I don't talk to a lot of fans, maybe they don't feel the same way. They're probably the same, but we are complaining about it. But the fact that they are seemingly willing to about bankrupt themselves just to get that done. Get that one extra in the win column. It is. I don't know that we see that here.
Like Michigan wins the title, and the Ohio State people go insane. They spent like $20 million in the $3 million for Caleb Downs, whatever you got for Will Howard, and it's just like this cannot stand. Michigan as national title winners. This cannot be.
This offseason, I will not stand for a state national championship. Bryce Underwood, $12 million.
Yeah, LSU, we don't care.
Laughing to the bank.
Like, that's the disgusting part about it.
What sucks too is like,
there's
a path here where everybody gets what they want, but it's too late basically because the cat's out of the bag. We've let the floodgates up, but you allow NIL to operate in what it is supposed to be. Like you said, Ty Simpson gets his camo deal. Bryce Young does his Fortnite stream, whatever it is. You're getting paid from some company to promote them, whatever amount of money it may be. I understand that sucks a little bit from a player's perspective. Oh, they're missing out on the chance to just say, oh, this collective's going to throw $1 million. When we have revenue sharing, you're going to get a large chunk of the money that you're bringing in from these.
Yes.
So we can have revenue sharing, and then we can also have NIL in the form that it is supposed to be. And everybody can be happy here. But we can't do that anymore because we've allowed Bryce Underwood to get $12 million, and now you can't put the top back on the can.
I think this agreement is trying to put the top back on the can.
We'll see. It's going to be very difficult to get your Texases, your Tennessees, your Ohio States, Michigan, whoever. I think Alabama and Georgia would probably be two teams who would definitely buy into this because they're maybe a little bit behind the eight ball in terms of NIL. I think smaller schools in the SEC probably would be down for this, but it's going to be tough to get a lot of the big time players because those big time players are the schools that are able to spend so much. Like you said, Texas, Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, the list goes on. It's going to be tough because their incentive is not the same as Alabama's is to join up. They're already winning. They don't need anything to change. They don't want the playing field to be leveled out. They're the ones with the advantage.
Gabe Feldman, a sports law professor at Tulane, comments in this article about basically this agreement that this being kind of tossed around in these Power 4 circles. It cannot be signed until the House settlement is granted approval, until it's done, because a lot of it hinges on the House settlement. It's like, hey, these are our rules, right? Let's all make sure everyone agrees. Tennessee, Georgia, Auburn, everybody. Gabe Feldman says arbitration itself isn't surprising, but saying you agree not to follow your state law that may or may not be enforceable. No matter what the sides do, they're going to be sued. This is an effort to rein in the lawsuits. It's just not clear how enforceable all these provisions will be. End quote. Signing an agreement that exempts a state university from following its own state law is particularly troubling, says I'm not going to know how to pronounce that. Ramogi Huma. Oh, goodness. Huma's helped dozens of states adopt laws that provide their universities with advantages in the NIL era. He calls the affiliations agreement a literal smoking gun in liability for public universities. Midwinter, a sports lawyer from Kinney Hertz Perry, LLC, works with both schools and the collectors. Unearthed details in the Tennessee law last week. The law gives schools and third parties the state cover not to follow rules that may be subject to antitrust scrutiny, he says. Many of the House settlement related concepts, most notably the clearinghouse, could be in jeopardy of such scrutiny. So essentially, it's you're using the antitrust as a way to keep the NIL, the booster money flowing in, because it's Billy's right to work. He's not an employee, but he's sort of an employee. He's making money for the school. You can't tell him what he cannot make. And inherently, I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But you can't have 50 different sets of rules.
Yeah, I agree with that outside framework of college athletics.
Right. You can't have
on the open job market. Sure, buddy. This is not that.
You can't have 50 different set of rules. How many states are in the SEC, Mason? 14? 13?
Somewhere right around there, yeah.
You got a bunch of double ups. You got a couple double ups. You got Texas, and that's a double up. Alabama's a double up. Tennessee's a double up. So it's 13, roughly, just off the top of my head. Mississippi too. Okay. You can't just have 12 different set of rules. That's preposterous. It's patently absurd. Like, I know it's not fantasy football, but I think about this in a little bit of fantasy football because me and my league, we debate rules
hotly
all year long.
I think me and my friends had a week-long discussion over like a quarter of a point change on one. It was like, I don't even remember what it was. Like receptions or something. Do we need to go from this to point? This 0.25. We argued about it for days.
And this is silly. I would imagine, I'm not in Mason's wallet, but I'd imagine your buy-in to that league is not too high. It's probably enough to feel happy about if you win, but not too high to be, I lost that money, no big deal.
Exactly. It's like the perfect sweet spot.
Yeah. And that's kind of how our league, but yes, I am giving my 2 cents on every cent. Yes, we need to have points for return yardage. Yes, you should be able to trade draft picks. Yes, you should be your keeper this. We have one set of rules. And yes, we argue them. We do. We change them every summer. We vote on them. We change them every summer. Sports don't work with 12 different sets of rules, 12 different sets of, it's basically roster management is what you're doing. When they play on Saturday, everybody's under the same rules. But the roster management rules are just untenable. They're simply untenable. Now, here's a question I'll throw at you to kind of wrap this up. Say this gets signed. And everybody agrees.
Mm-hmm.
And Tennessee breaks a rule. Greg Sankey going to kick him out of the SEC?
You'll have to.
Yeah, you think he's got enough stones
You're gonna have
to kick Tennessee out of the league? What you do is you offer
a probation period.
1 year, no competition. All losses. Every team that has you on the schedule next year, forfeit. Who? And then that begs my next question. That does Greg Sankey, is Greg Sankey in his mind right now playing, who's going to violate this agreement? Who do I have to? Is it going to be Lane Kiffin? Do I have to kick somebody out? And if I have to kick somebody out of this conference, we ain't playing with 15 schools. We ain't playing with 14 schools. We're going to go get somebody. Is it Tulane? They'll play nicely. North Carolina, they'll play nicely. Who Florida State? Like, this becomes you break the rules, you're getting replaced, buddy.
This is a college football relegation almost. This is what we wanted for years.
Tennessee, go see if the ACC will take you. See if they'll put up with your nefariousness. Yeah.
Where do you fall on this Deloitte run clearinghouse, this NIL Go, using algorithms, using things like that to determine market value for these players? Because I think there is certainly a need for something like this, a third-party organization who is looking at these deals and determining, whether they're market value, whether they're legit deals, whether all kinds of things like that. But I don't know. I need more details on this. This seems a little shady.
I inherently don't like anything AI.
Me too.
Like, period. As soon as I see something AI, I'm going to confirm it for myself.
I don't know that I'm going to trust some algorithm given to me by a bunch of accountants.
Right. I saw, I see this on social media all the time. I'll see something, I'm like, that seems too good. Then go search it up and be like, you can't find it anywhere. Like, yeah, AI. I do think this entity of a little scrutiny of these NIL deals is important. My first thought is, oh, Billy, don't register our deal. Oh, Billy, I'll just give you $10K, brother. That's my first thought.
We're just gonna go back to the days.
Yes.
$100 handshakes and you got a bag, man. Here's it's just we've come full circle here. We're gonna go back to secret under the table payments of cash only
in 3 years, in 5 years, whatever it is.
It's ridiculous.
I do like, hey, let's make sure that Billy's deal is for Buddy's Car Wash, and he's doing Derek Daniel State Farm ads, absolutely. Warren Tire ads, absolutely.
I think the market value thing is important. Again, I understand you can market value, whatever you get paid. It's like, sure, I guess. But we have legitimate data we can look at with players of this, the same, similar caliber, looking at where they're, things like that. So
when you can tell if Warren Auto is paying Ty Simpson $5 million, I'm sure. Not going to get in their wallet, but I would just imagine that would be a little higher than they would want to spend. I'm just trying to hypothetical here, but they could say, I'm really not sure about a car, a mechanic shop giving somebody a $5 million. Is there a booster involved there? Funneling money through warranty? They would never do that.
No.
But
and I think there's also the players getting poached from rosters and signing ludicrous deals with their new school or whatever. Those kinds of things could potentially be quelled here. I just that word algorithm I saw, and immediately the alarm bells went off. I don't know.
Because when I see algorithm, I think, what are you trying to program me? What are you trying to get me to think? What's actually real here, and what are you trying? Are you trying to get me to think that all these deals? Oh, Billy, you're not worth that much.
So what's the inherent bias here with this algorithm?
Yes,
there's got to be something. We'll see. I think they're gonna get.
Can you move me off this? Because I don't want to. The inherent bias thing is just.
Things are gonna get weird. Things are gonna get very weird here in college football. It's gonna be a lot of.
Is that black player really worth that much money?
I hope things like that will not happen.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, you've seen how far the Twitter AI bot now has fallen, where it's just generating images without even being prompted of prominent historical figures alongside less than savory other historical figures, things like that. It's very strange. These are the reasons I don't trust it. It is trained off of the things that you feed it, and you can feed it whatever you want. I don't know.
Maybe that was inappropriate, but I just feel like that you get some deep-seated thoughts and deep-seated feels.
We've seen just throughout the last 15 years or so, a lot of times you see a lot of times when AI gets tested and things, it ends up just reverting to either insert ism. The AI bot has taken over and is now that. It's just kind of the way things go a lot of times because that's the way that people like to feed it information. It seems like. I don't know.
I
Things
love
are just
Mason.
going to get
Thank you.
weird. Things are going to get weird in college football. This is going to be strange. I genuinely don't know what to think. I don't know. I think it's going to be.
I think it's not going to get signed.
Yeah, I think it's going to be almost impossible to get. Like I said, your Tennessees, your Texases, your whatever, Oregon's, Ohio State, those kinds of schools, the big time players in the sport who are already have the money advantage as well. They have no incentive to sign this. The only schools that do are your Alabamas and Georgias, the guys who are still big time players because of the coaching and things that have been there, but they are a little bit behind in terms of NIL. And there's not as many of those because it's pretty hard to be in that spot.
Absolutely. It's difficult to be in that spot. And so we'll keep following this. I kind of think that this agreement is going to evaporate.
Yeah, I think this is, like I said this last week, like this is really another example, too, of just everybody wants to figure out their own solution so that they can take credit for it. And nobody wants to actually work together. This seems like just a prime example of that. Well, like, we're going to get together and fix it ourselves. It's like, well, you could just, they're working on it, too. Like, why don't you guys, do that? Nope. That's not an option here. Everybody's to. We're going to do it ourselves.
We got to fix it the best way for our school.
Ridiculous.
All right, let's move off this real quick and get into the week. I know we're not as much on the baseball show, but we need to talk about Alabama baseball. Let's do it. All right, so right after Warren Tire, we'll talk about Hoover, Alabama.
So my name is Russ Warren, and I'm one of the owners here at Warren Tire. We started in 1961. My granddad on University Boulevard, so we've been kind of a staple here in the Tuscaloosa and the University of Alabama community since then. And so thankful to be in the third generation. And we have 2 locations now in Tuscaloosa. We're right here at the 15th Street location right now, where we just do tires, brakes, and alignments mostly here. Our university location does oil changes, engine work, air conditioning work, front end work, the whole 9 yards. And so any of our 2 locations, you can come check us out.
And we so appreciate Warren Tire and Auto for sponsoring the program. Go see them today, as Russ just told you. 2 great locations, University Boulevard and 15th Street. I know my man Matt Stahl, AL.com, went over there this past week. We chatted on Sunday. He goes, any good auto places I need to get? I said, Warren Tire right over there. And he's okay, we'll make it happen. So hope that worked out well for Matt Stahl. I thought Matt Stahl wrote a really, really, really good piece from Sunday's softball game. I know we just said baseball, but Coach Murphy told a great story in the post game about his trip to Rhodes, and basically the story that I wanted to write, Matt did write. I couldn't get it out. I couldn't find it in my head. But when I read his piece, I was like, yes, this is exactly what I was trying to like. It was beautiful. It was a great illustration of how long the day was on Sunday, and longer for Patrick Murphy, waking up early, getting trees out of the way in his neighborhood, catching a ride, all kinds of stuff, and then the rain delay. And I thought he did a great job with that. But let's put a pin in softball, because softball's not playing until Friday, because they're going to be taking on Oklahoma in Super Regionals. Today, the reason we started recording a little earlier today is SEC baseball in Hoover. Alabama is taking on Missouri. First game, 9:30 a.m. So 1 hour from now, 9:30 a.m. Alabama's taking on Missouri. And great. Basically, you lose your series against Florida, and that puts you back on the bubble line as far as, are you hosting a regional or not? This team's won 40 games. This team did not get swept in a single SEC series. I know you're thinking, that's not the goal. Okay, but think about where you've been. Undefeated in midweek games, has a single season school record holder in saves in Carson Hosmer. You've got a future top 10 draft pick in Justin LeBron. If you haven't paid attention to baseball, clock out of work right in an hour and watch some Alabama baseball. You're gonna get Missouri is the worst team in the league. Missouri is the worst team in the league. Yes, I think they sweep A&M, Texas A&M 2 weeks ago. I think they swept Texas A&M 2 weeks ago on like a huge upset. Other than that, I'm pretty sure they haven't won an SEC series yet. But you got Missouri first up. My only issue with this bracket is being the early slot, but it's fine. Tuesday at 9:30, you'll win. You play Wednesday at 9:30 against Tennessee. If you win that, you play Thursday at 3, moving into the afternoon slate. Thursday at 3 against Texas, and then you are into the semifinals. I'm not sure that you're going to see Thursday. It's a single elimination day. I mean, you might see Thursday. You might not see. You might not see the Saturday session. It looks like they're breaking Thursday and Friday into 2 different days, which seems. Oh, that's because Friday is. Yeah. Okay. No double elimination this year. Praise the Lord.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of a double elimination.
Baseball tournament? No.
I really don't like it for anything, to be honest. I mean, unless we're playing, like, I guess you could count, not really, like, playing series, but, like, I don't like the whole, like, oh, we're going to bounce around this, loser's bracket. Just give me the one loss, you're in or you're out. Or give me, full 5-game series, 7-game series, whatever it is.
So it's going to be a big time in Hoover today. I don't have like a whole lot of baseball expertise. Perhaps we can get Will Miller on tomorrow to talk about Alabama beating Missouri and then setting him up against Tennessee. I'll tell you this. I'll ask you this. We can make this Joe Gaither show flavor right here. Does Tony Vitello? Joey. Does Tony Vitello go out and recruit a-holes? Does he just recruit the biggest jerks in the world? Or do they come to Tennessee and get vitalized and become the biggest jerk-offs in the world? I'm sorry. Like, I know it's supposed to be objective, Joe. My objectivity says those guys are jerks, and they've been jerks for 5 years. They were jerks when I was in my last job, talking into a microphone, saying the same sort of stuff. Like, it's not about this crop of Tennessee players. It is the program.
I think that answers your question right there.
Oh, dude, you got me.
I think that answers it. I think it's a Tony Vitello problem. It's a pervasive culture problem there in Tennessee that is from the top down. It seems like. I would say honestly, it probably comes from the administration all the way down. I think it's got its nasty little claws in every branch of this athletic program, every team, every coach, every athlete, maybe even. It's really. I really don't like this Tennessee baseball team. I don't watch it. I mean,
every time they're on my screen, they're fighting.
Cards on the table here. I haven't watched a single baseball game this year. Haven't watched one. I've seen bits and pieces here and there. Have not sat down and watched 9 innings of baseball this year. I cannot stand Tennessee's baseball team. They're that annoying. They're that what's the word? Abrasive. Abrasive is not harsh enough. They are a-holes, like you put it. Just the attitude they carry themselves with, the arrogance that they carry themselves with, is really, really off-putting. And their fans love it, I guess. I feel like I have seen a handful of fans on the internet. Maybe they're not real Tennessee fans. Who knows? Maybe they're just trolling. But it seems like some of their fans are getting fed up with it at times a little bit. The antics and things. That don't have anything to do with baseball. But I think that says a lot that I can be someone who basically has ignored baseball this year, and I get enough Tennessee on my timeline that I really have a strong opinion about it.
Right. The algorithm is feeding you. They're fighting. They're fighting everything. It's an umpire missed a call, and Vitello's pushing up, and it's look. I love me a good bat flip. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
If you get taken yard, just turn around. Don't look at him. The guy's gonna pimp it. It's fine. That's part of the game.
You deserve that.
Yeah.
Throw better. Throw faster.
I mean, it sucks if it's me, but yes, that's just the way.
Maybe you should have thrown to his neck.
Put him on first base instead of all the way around. Like, make your choice here. I can't stand him, and yet won the national championship last year. he's one of my top villains in college athletics.
Yes, in all of college athletics, absolutely. Who's on that Mount Rushmore? College.
Kim
athletics.
Mulkey.
Yeah, Kim Mulkey's up there.
Bruce Pearl. In Joe Gaither's personal record book, in Joe Gaither's book, we'll steal this from Stugatz. In Joe Gaither's personal record book, it's Philip Fulmer, it's Bruce Pearl, it's Tony Vitello, it's Kim Mulkey.
That's a good one. I'd probably have to.
Shoot, there's only 4 spots.
I agree with Vitello. I agree with Mulkey. I'd probably throw Kirby Smart on there.
Oh, I love Kirby. Okay, that's good.
Bane of my existence, Kirby Smart. Hate that man.
Visor.
Can't stand it. Can't stand it.
Dan Hurley.
I don't know. He's not really around anymore, but I still have a lot of hate in my heart for him. Urban Meyer.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I have to do the Christianly thing and not say anything at all about Urban Meyer because that man he makes my skin crawl.
Hey, me too.
Utterly crawl.
Look, I don't know personally, so this is all speculation, I'll say. But just as fake can be, like everything about it. Everything you hear him say on television, it is not the person that he actually is behind closed doors. It does not appear to be. Given mountains of evidence that we have seen over the years.
All right, Mason, let's close it down with something fun. I watched the best Star Wars movie ever last night, and I've seen it a couple times, but like I was showing it to Carrie. So I'll just ask you, what movie did I put on? Are you a Star Wars fan? Have you watched any?
I mean, yeah, I would say I'm a casual Star Wars.
That's fine, dude. It's okay. The number one in my book, and it is, or what is it for you, Mason Woods?
I don't know. Probably one of the prequels, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's nostalgic. I watched it when I was a kid. I don't remember which one it was, and maybe he's in multiple of them, but whichever one Mace Windu was featured in.
Oh yeah.
A lot.
He's in those first 3. Pretty good.
So,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could pick one, but probably it definitely would be a prequel.
Yeah, and it's Rogue One to me. It's not.
I don't think I've seen that one, so that's the newer one, right? It came out in like 18 or something.
I don't know how new it is at this point, but maybe Rogue One, 2016. Yeah, okay. You're right. It is on the timeline. You have the 3 prequels. You have the 3 originals. It is right before the 3 originals. It is the story. It ends exactly where the original begins. Okay. And if you've seen the original, see, I think you have to know how the trilogy goes.
Yeah, see, I could not tell you the plot. Like I couldn't run through the beat by beat story. About that.
That's what makes Rogue One so perfect, is because everything that they put into the movie. All right, spoiler alert. Because you have to sacrifice to destroy the Death Star.
Okay. Yeah, I could probably give you like the major plot points, but definitely couldn't give you a lot. I think I liked Star Wars a lot better before Disney bought it and like over commodified it and ran into the ground, and now we have 800 TV shows you have to watch to keep up with it. Like they did the same thing to Marvel. I used to love Marvel. I have consumed a Marvel product in 3 or 4 years now. Like, I'm done.
I watched Deadpool Wolverine a couple weeks ago for the first time, and I was like, if this was 5 years earlier, I would have seen it in theaters.
Yeah, and I was there. I would see a lot of them in theater. I was one of those, but they ruined it. That's kind of how I've unfortunately fallen out of love with Star Wars. I tell you what, though.
If you like a good spy movie, though, Rogue One.
Okay. You watched you Apple TV guy?
No, but what should I watch?
You gotta watch
Severance.
I'm sure you've seen it.
I've seen it just bandied on Twitter.
A lot of people talked about it, and I kind of put it off for months and months and months, years, even because I guess season 1 came out a few years ago. But we watched, I think, both seasons in 2 days this weekend. Did you ever look at Succession? That's probably next because we're gonna have to wait. So 2 episodes of season 2 of Severance left. Both about an hour long or so. I'm the oldest boy! And That's probably the next one on the list because apparently people had to wait 3 years between season 1 and 2 of Severance. So I imagine we'll be getting another 2 or 3 year wait. So I got plenty of time to watch Succession.
As someone in the media, you will love it. And someone who just likes dramas, HBO, like, oh my gosh, information, Greg, is like fine wine. You hold it, you bottle it, put it on the shelf, and when the time is right, you take it off the shelf and bash someone's head in with it. I'm like, oh my God, there's just so many just great. Oh, God. And I guess they're playing. It's a play. Is it the Murdoch family, the Fox family? Isn't that right?
Maybe.
I think it's a play off of their dynasty.
Oh, able to skirt around legal things, I'm sure.
Oh yes. Oh yes. It's awesome. I love it. I don't know why I took us into this tangent, but I just love Rogue One a lot. All of the 6 main ones are great, but as a standalone movie, tying everything in, it's just perfect. Mason, I gotta go to Hoover. I gotta go talk to Coach Saban. Coach Saban's meeting, Nick's kids, 10:45. So I'll be doing that first, and then going.
Maybe some good stuff too. What are you gonna ask? Do you think you'll get to ask him anything?
I know that I will get to ask him anything about. I would imagine there's gonna be about 7 minutes, and I was given 3 questions. I will follow the 3 questions that I was given if I can get them all in.
I'd like to know. I wonder if someone will ask him about this college sports commission that we talked about.
I think that will be on the list in some form or fashion. But you're probably going to get the same answer you got at last week's golf tournament. Oh, don't really know. We'll find out.
Maybe. This Ross Mellinger article leads me to believe that maybe there's a little more going on behind the scenes than I give credit for.
So we're going to talk to Coach Saban at 10:45. Nick's kids event. You'll be able to see that on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. We are going to Hoover. We're probably going to be there pretty much all day, hanging out with Alabama and Missouri, and then we'll be there next. We'll catch up with Mason in the afternoon to figure out what time we're recording tomorrow. That's how we're going to do it, and then we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll try to get Will Miller on, and we will check in with Katie Wyndham for Thursday. Oh shoot, we talked about Wednesday, Georgia, know your enemy. So if how about them dogs, undefeated, 12-0, 9-3. 8-4, 7-5, 10-1.
This year it all falls
10-2.
For Kirby. 0 wins.
With Gunnar Stockton at the helm. We'll find out. So we'll talk about Georgia tomorrow. Know your enemy. We will highlight the SEC tournament and get into the rest of the week with you guys right here on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral and BamaCentral.com.